Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. You're going to find a way to win or find a way to lose when you get in that ring and somebody hits you with them bing bings. But hey, Franchon, Cruz, and Claressa, man, look, we had somebody call in. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'm going to play a large part of it, man, because he was saying something about that was interesting to me. It took me a while to understand what he was trying to say. But this thing about Franchon Cruz and how she felt like she wasn't getting promoted properly and everything was favoring Claressa Shields, the person broke it down pretty damn good. It took me a while to really understand what they were saying. But we talked through it, and then I started to understand. Anyway, man, this was from the live we did the other night. The title is Liar, Claressa Drinks Alcohol, MVP with ESPN Getting Money. So just listen to this. I hear what you're saying, right? But there's a process, and the promoters, they have these fighters, and they have champions, and they're going to be very strategic to make sure that they have their champions probably fight each other in a dream match when the timing is right. If they have them both fight and one lose, okay, well, one of their fighters take a loss, and that hurts their leverage when going into other fights. And promoters are in the business to make money. So you're not going to see them take these fighters and pit them against each other right now. The other thing is Baumgartner been putting in work for a long time. Caroline Dubois is the new kid on the block. So you got to put some respect. They're putting respect on Baumgartner's name, looking to make much bigger fights. Baumgartner's not looking for lateral accomplishments. She's looking to move up the ladder. What I think is going to happen, they haven't said this. This is just me thinking outside the box. Because even I was like, man, Baumgartner and Dubois, the fight. I think it's going to be Baumgartner and maybe Serrano. Because Serrano's looking to kind of exit the sport. Yeah. I'm like, that makes sense because there's way more money. There's way more money in that fight. And then Serrano's looking to exit the sport. So they're probably going to try to time things in a way to where Baumgartner fights maybe Serrano retires. Now Baumgartner's the big dog. And then Dubois continues working, getting more exposure. And then they lead into a Dubois against Baumgartner fight. But you don't think being marketable, free of controversy, free of drama, is required to be the face of a sport? Now, I'm just going off of, hey, I do my little research now. And you don't think you got to be likable? You don't think you got to be likable?
No. It's only a handful of people that you could name that was at the heights like that had no controversy. You need controversy, whether you build fake controversy or it's real controversy. That is what's going to draw the casual. The die-hard boxing fans are always going to be there. Always. Because they die hard. They live and breathe the sport. But to get the casuals, to get the kids to know, to get the church people to stand up after coming from church and doing all this, and the teachers and people like that to watch, you need controversy. That's what's going to bring them in.
So you feel they need the controversy?
They need that. And this is what the old media don't understand. Like in the music industry, they used to build up fake controversy because they like, oh, this person that do good in music. Why ain't they selling like the person over here with all the drama? He's a good young man. Because controversy, people like chaos. If you was walking down the street and two people was over here talking to each other, but they're arguing, but they're talking, they having a civil conversation, and two people was over there across the street from them yelling, what's going to draw to you? The people that's talking and arguing and having a civil conversation, or the people yelling back and forth?
Yeah, the noise will get my attention. But Mayweather was the face of boxing, and he was making the most money out of everybody. And everybody who fought Mayweather, they made the most money in their careers. So if Claressa's the face of boxing, how come she not making... And look, and I ain't trying to stump the dummy. How come she ain't making more money?
No, I'm glad you said that, because look, this is where Franchon Cruz, this is where she's a liar, and this is why I don't respect her. She's a hypocrite. You know them people that kiss you on your face and say all this and give you hugs, and then behind your back they talk stuff and all this, and you be like, dang, this person was just showing me love, like. They were saying good stuff about me. Then they come back in your face. They like, oh yeah, you look nice and all. Then next thing you know, they go over here and they talking stuff again. That's what Franchon Cruz do. You want to know the reason why she won't reveal the purse that what she made from Claressa?
Yeah, give us the facts.
It's that simple.
Give us the facts.
She know that's her highest payday. You want to know why she said? She didn't say nothing to nobody else. She said, oh, when Claressa beats Deja Green, me and Claressa can get a third fight. Oh, and if we don't do a third fight, because I know she want to become undisputed again at 68, then we probably could do an exhibition. If this not your biggest payday, why are you harping on trying to fight her? Even when it won't count the exhibition, because you're a liar. You know this is your biggest payday. You know it is, but you know how people look at Claressa, and you know if you say something, they just gonna run with it. Reveal the purse. It's that easy. No, you wanna say little stuff that, oh, this wasn't my biggest payday. And then another thing, this is another thing too. She was crying about getting promoted. Oh, they just worried about Claressa. I mean, Papoose is with Claressa Promotions. Like, this is who's promoting her. Tell Franchon Cruz to hire her a promotion team that's going to pump her up. This has nothing. Wynn Records and Salida Promotions and Claressa Promotions. That is Claressa team. That's not Franchon Cruz team. You want free promo off of my team? Is you signed to me? That's like me saying to you, hey, Hood.
Did y'all catch that right there? Where the person said, you want free promo off of my team? Now, I don't know who it is calling in. I don't know if it's a voice modifier, but again, I don't know who it is calling in, but I caught that part. I don't know if y'all caught that part.
Why you not promoting me? I'm talking on your channel. Promote me. Put this video out everywhere so everybody could see. You like, what? Why would I do that? This is my channel. You're not finna tell me what to do with I could see if you was a host on my channel, then I'd be like, okay, I'll put your video out here. I'd be like, oh, go show love to Tim. Go do this. Look, you could find him here, or you want him back, I'll call. Like, these things that people do with the promotion. She's not with that promotion. I don't know why people expect somebody to do that when you're not with a promotion.
Who's not with that promotion? Franchon?
She's not with Wynn Records and Claressa Steele's promotion.
But she's with Salida. Demetra Salida's the promoter.
Yes. And Salida promoted Claressa and Franchon Cruz the same. The big promotion that you see come with Claressa is from Wynn Records.
Okay, how so you tell me Wynn Records is running the show, not Demetra Salida?
No, they are partner. It's like joint.
Okay.
Certain things they reach in areas it's not okay. Like you probably don't know Blueface. I don't know if you know or not, but Blueface got a fight coming up.
Yeah. I know about him. Yeah.
Okay? So the dude, I don't know the dude from the black guy from Wynn Records. He there promoting Claressa. Salida wasn't there. I mean, if Salida was there, I will expect him to be like, oh yeah, Franchon Cruz or what's the name, and oh Claressa and Franchon was. If you see it, Salida was trying to be even, and Franchon Cruz was like, no, don't try to say this with me, and what's the name, and then go back with that. But she failed to realize that other 80% of the promotion was coming from Claressa team and Wynn Records. Wynn Records didn't sign Franchon.
Well, this is the thing that's not making sense here. That's why I'm not. I'm not tracking with you because I'm not up to speed on it. It doesn't make sense for Demetrius Lee to be the promoter and have Claressa and Franchon there, and then for him as a promoter to allow Wynn Records, because Clarissa's working with them as well, to come now and for Claressa to get more additional perks than Franchon. That's unfair. That's not how that should work. You know what I'm saying? And that's bad business practice because that just hurts Demetrius Salida. So that doesn't sound right to me. But maybe you know more than me. That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
No, it's just like this. I'm gonna try to break it down and see if you get it this way. Okay, you got your own channel, right?
Yeah.
Which is, and let's say I had a boxing channel too, and me and you, what's the name? We gonna say the same people, Franchon and Claressa. Me and you come together and we sign Claressa, right? Okay. And then you on your own, you sign Franchon. Me and you, we both gonna promote Claressa, but I'm not gonna promote Franchon. You will, because that's your fighter. She signed to you.
No, I'm tracking with you. I'm tracking with you 100%. But
yeah, me and you just got a deal. So no.
But the promoter. So, but
you.
I hear you.
I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you go. You can't come to me, and I will. And even if you did come to me, I would not let you get no extra promotion for your fighter on with me and the deal we got. I'm not making nothing off of her. Let's say she beat Claressa. I'm not getting nothing from Franchon. She just signed to you.
Okay, what is it that Franchon wanted from Wynn Records that they weren't willing to give her because that they don't have a deal with her?
Promotion. She felt like Claressa was getting all the promotion and it was all about her.
Okay, so the promotion, Franchon, you felt like she was satisfied with the promotion from Demetrius Salida, but she was maybe a bit misunderstood that the additional promotion was coming from Wynn Records. Demetrius Salida had nothing to do with that, so she can't be mad at him.
No, she didn't know that it was that's what I'm giving you the insight on where that extra promotion coming from and why it was seen one-sided to her. She don't know that. When Demetria was Salida, whatever his name is, when he tried to promote Claressa and he in the interviews telling people about Franchon and Franchon getting mad at him, like, no, don't try to say nothing about me. Y'all, this is a Claressa show. She's mad, but she's not understanding because I guess, I don't know if people not intelligent enough to let her know, like, you signed to Salida, you're not signed to Wynn Records. That's who giving her this extra promotion. They getting out the cars, they're doing this stuff with the celebrities, all that. That's part of Wynn. When you sign to Wynn Records, then if you want that.
I got what you're saying. But for me, at Demetrius Salida, the money he making must be real good, because that creates a bit of a bad business practice and a toxic work environment, because now you have all these fighters that are signed to you that you're responsible for, but you got this other entity who you have some kind of working relationship with, and they're involved with one fighter in particular, and this fighter is getting all these perks, and the person you're promoting both too, but the one who's not with that entity, they're looking and not understanding, well, how are they getting all this shit and not me? And it's not coming from Salida. So obviously there's a communication breakdown. There's a communication breakdown to say, hey, this is all I'm obligated to give both of you. I'm being fair. That extra shit you're seeing, that ain't coming out of my pocket.
Agree with me. Carissa might not agree with me on this, what's the name? But I'm gonna be real, because I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't got no dog in the fight. I'm just from Michigan, and I rock with Claressa. I rock with Floyd. I understand greatness. If she wasn't great, I let it be known. Salida, he seems like a sleazeball to me.
Now, appreciate y'all hanging in there through that 14 minutes of that piece of video. Now, when you hear that, Wynn Records, Demetrius Salida, Franchon, Claressa, see, that makes sense, what this guy was saying. Now, remember, all we can do is trust what they say. I can't verify it. But when we're sitting here, this has nothing to do with Claressa pushing Franchon having on the heels, and the brawl that took place. This has nothing to do with that. But when we just talk about the fight and the promotion, that's why we're sitting here, all of us sitting here thinking, and remember, I don't know, that's why I'm gonna touch base with Franchon. She need to come on the show. It's at a point she needs to come on the show. And I'm gonna send her this video, but she needs to come on, because this is what's being put out there. And if it's true, cool. If not, she needs to come out here and say something. So I'm gonna reach out to her. But we're sitting here feeling like, damn, Franchon's getting, she's not even being treated like the B side. She's being treated like the goddamn government grilled cheese side. You know what I'm saying? And Claressa Shields being treated like a goddamn gourmet meal. Because even I was like, Claressa pulling up in these, vehicles. She got all these minks on and beaver tails and weaves and eyelashes and jewelry, and she got and she out here, man, like Cinderella. She out here with the horses and the carriage and all that shit. And Franchon is just there kind of in the goddamn janitor's closet with the mop and the stale goddamn mop water. And it's like, there's a night and day difference in how one fighter was treated and the other one was treated. That's why a lot of us were pissed off. Because we're like, that's wrong, man, to do fighters like that. They're both working with Demetrius Salida. It was obvious who they looked like they wanted to win. But now that this caller, which I don't know who that was. Some people say that was Claressa Shields' brother. Some people say that was Claressa Shields on a modifier. Some people say that was just somebody close to the source who didn't want to disclose their identity. Look, I'm going to tell you this. Hey, yo, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. I don't know who that was, what that was, when, where, why, how. But what they were saying is all I'm worried about. Because they were saying some shit that made sense. They were saying a whole lot of stuff that made sense. You ain't going to be a random fan out there who knows all that bullshit this person was saying. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be Willie from the making fried fish sandwiches on the corner with grape drinking shit. He ain't gonna know all that. That had to be somebody really close to the source. But that being said, that makes me look at things a little bit differently. Franchon, it almost makes sense. Demetrius Salida, he has, let's say, $1,000, right? We're just talking shit now. But let's say I got $1,000. I got Claressa and Franchon. $500 in promotion to Claressa, $500 in promotion to Franchon. Boom. That's fair, right? You would agree. $1,000, 5 and 5. That's free. That's fair. That's fair. But then Claressa she got this deal with this Wynn Records. They're like, okay, you put 5 into her, your other 5 into Franchon. We're going to put 10 additional dollars into promoting just Claressa because she has a deal with us. And Claressa's promotion looks totally different from Franchon's. If Franchon doesn't really understand that relationship and that deal, right? Because there's obviously the communication breakdown somewhere. There's a lack of transparency, but there's probably also a thing where there's no need for Franchon to know. She has nothing to do with that, so they're not obligated to tell her anything. You know what I'm saying? But if I had a fighter that's feeling like, yeah, I know y'all treat me like shit, all these things going on, and how you treating my team, my family, y'all treating Claressa, giving her the red carpet, y'all out here giving me the government grilled cheese sandwich, she getting gourmet meals, shrimp scampi and all that shit. Okay, cool. That's where I would have stopped and said, Franchon. Listen, calm down. I hear you. I'm promoting both of you guys fairly. She's working with Wynn Records. She has a contract. What you see happening there is not on my pocket. That's them putting money into her. I have nothing to do with that. But we have a working relationship. If you want some of those perks, maybe you sign with them too. You know, like that's what I would have said. You know, that's what I would have said. But I wouldn't have just sat there quiet, remained reticent. No, because it almost seems like a conflict of interest. You know what I'm saying? But again, I guess there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's almost like a fighter. You have two fighters get in the ring. One fighter has all these patches on their trunks from different brands that they can come out there and fight with the brands on their trunks. So all the people who are watching the fight see those names, but they're getting paid $1 million from all their endorsement deals. The other fighter has no patches on their trunk, and they're mad. This person got paid this, plus they got another $1 million. Well, they have that deal. Their team was able to work out deals with these brands and put those patches on their trunks. You can't get mad they're getting money off of that. So then you and your team should work out something. You know what I'm saying? Then you can make yourself a little extra money on the side. And that's how I see it. So if that's true, then I mean, just when it comes to that, I understand how they were able to kind of prioritize Claressa and push her the way they did. Now, the other stuff, I don't know. I'm sure there's some other stuff that's totally independent of Wynn Records and Claressa wearing the beaver tail and mink coats and all that, the jewelry, the eyelashes, driving in the cars and all that shit. I'm sure stuff Franchon something has nothing to do with that. But I'm gonna reach out to her and tell her to come on the show. I'm gonna send her this video. You know, and I'm gonna tell her to come on the show. If she comes on, cool. If not, no. But I'm gonna tell her, yo, you need to come on, and I'm gonna send her this video. She need to come on and talk to us, because now I'm curious as hell. What exactly happened? You know what I mean? So it's time. And I had somebody I was talking to the other day. They asked me, they said, "Have you brought Franchon on the show yet?" And I told them, "Nah, I really haven't been humbugging her, but I'm gonna reach out to her and see if she wants to come on." Matter of fact, once I finish this video, I'm gonna send it to her, and I'm gonna see if she'll come on, because I didn't know all that. And Franchon knows something. I do believe she knows something. And I think she should come out and say it. Because the picture's being painted that Franchon is unfairly ridiculing the promotion, and she's not being truthful about how much money she made, and they're making her out to seem like a dishonest person. And Franchon doesn't strike me that way. Again, I don't know none of these people. I'm sitting here just trying to judge character based on, like you all, little snippets, sound bites, shit we see of them on the internet. You know, I don't know them. But I am going to send this to Franchon and say, yo, take your little, I'm at 22 minutes. I'm like, take 30 minutes out your day and listen to this shit. And, you know, consider coming on the show and let's have a conversation. Because I would like to know. Because now it's making it look like, it really puts Franchon, put her in a kind of bad light, in my opinion. But that's why I'm going to reach out to her. So, interesting, right? I think I'm going to do a few videos based off of that conversation I had with that gentleman, or whoever that was who called in. I'll do a few videos because he said a lot. And I think people need to hear it all. But it's a long segment. We actually talk, I think, over an hour. But I'm going to break it down in pieces so we could hear everything the person had to say, because he said some stuff that I think would probably go viral. Because that guy, I tell you what, he wasn't Willie from the goddamn juke joint. That was someone inside Claressa's camp. I don't care what you say. Whether it's her brother, she modified the voice, it was somebody. It wasn't someone there in the goddamn soup kitchen making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and goddamn chicken broth, hot chicken broth with canned peaches on the side, you know what I'm saying? No, and that little bullshit of 2% milk they give you. But this person knew something. Anyway, what are your thoughts, man? Do you think Wynn Records, they just hooked up Claressa Shields and Franchon didn't understand all that money was coming from Wynn Records in the promotion, and it wasn't Demetrius Salita, he's a good guy and he did his part? Or do you think there's some BS with the guy who called? You know, with me, I don't know. I just take everything with a grain of salt. Trust what people say. I can't verify. I'll give an opinion. But I'll tell you right now, it kind of make a little bit of sense. You know, so Claressa had Demetrius Salita and Wynn Records. Franchon just had Demetrius Salita. I mean, that matters. It's just like somebody having, and I ain't trying to be funny or insulting anyone, right? I'm not trying to offend anyone. But it's like if someone has, I'll say it this way because I don't want to offend anyone. If you have a parent who has two children, and you have a parent who has one, and they go to Saturday, the parent with the two children, the sons play in soccer games. Both of them win their tournaments, they come home with 2 trophies. The other one has one child, they play in one tournament, they come back with 1 trophy. That parent can't get mad because the mother or father's over there holding 2 trophies. Like, look what my sons received today. And then this parent is over here holding up their 1. You can't get mad. These people have 2 children. So they were able to get 2 trophies. They're going to go celebrate. You and your child just got 1. You can't feel bad because they got 2. You should have probably had 2 children. You know what I'm saying? So Claressa, in this case, would be the parent with, you know, the 2 children who gets 2 trophies. So they get something to feel good about, to gloat about, to brag about. You can only brag about your 1. And that's just how I see it, man. Anyway, let me upload this video, and we'll go from there. Very, very interesting. Wynn Records did what for Claressa Shields? Hey, yo, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the stupid. Keep cool, I'm in the breeze.